Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
It's a double elimination, but it's consolation bracket. So if you win the first game, you're in the top 8, and then if you lose the first game, you still will get to play on until you lose 2, but there's no building your way back up through the bracket.
I really felt like we probably actually played a little better in the second half than the score actually indicated because they got to the free throw line. But, you know, we can play a lot better, but I thought tonight was a good step in the right direction.
You know, I can't say if we're going to be an elite rebounding team or not. You know, I can say that our effort will be there to be a good rebounding team. But, you know, I think it was a better effort tonight to, you know, attempt to go to the glass and secure rebounds. So.
I'm happy where I am, man. I'm good. I got a kickstand down. You know what a kickstand is? A lot of people don't in there, a lot of age don't know what a kickstand is. I mean, I'm resting. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm enthusiastic about where I am. I love it here. Truly do.
I think it's ended up being a very unique situation of all postseason sports, the way that system's set up there, and how you could go to that and get knocked out, and if you don't go, you're in.
You know, we were asked by the commissioners as a committee to evaluate it all the way through the conference championship games and not to stop the week before with our final rankings. And so we're obligated to take a look at it, but we have great respect for those teams.
Who's going to plug in for, you know, Brady Rife and Chambers? It's only 2 spots, so you get over half your guys coming back, but Carson Kinman might be a possibility. He'll be a junior next year. Maybe he goes to the O-line. But trying to fill that will be a little bit of a question mark, and then the quarterback spot.
But again, another question I asked personnel guys. One said to me, he has solidified his rep as an organization killer. There is no market for him.
And welcome to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM, the talk of the town. Welcome in. This is the Wednesday show. Steve Webster with you. Mike Hesher is in, and Landon Winkler running the video stream today as Mike Corson enjoys chicken fingers and macaroni and cheese, and I'm sure there's a vegetable and healthy 1% milk down at the USD 428 Board of Education noon luncheon meeting today. So that's the lineup for today. On the program, Central Plains football coach J.D. Johnson will join us to preview Friday night's 8-man Division I semifinal game in Claflin between the Oilers and Clifton Clyde. So J.D. will be back in here. Also, the voice of the Tigers, Gerard Walbrock, talks about everything Fort Hays State on the program today. We have Barton basketball tonight. They're taking on Hutchinson out at the Kirkman Center, but we begin today with Barton volleyball. You heard Megan Bessickert running down how the tournament works. Single elimination. They do have a consolation bracket where you can come up and win the consolation prize. Well, Barton doesn't have to worry about that. Not just yet, anyway. Lady Cougars this morning taking care of Navarro College out of Texas. Straight set winner. So they beat Navarro earlier in the season. Heck, it was all the way back in August, and they swept them then. They also sweep them this morning down at Austin Peay University. So Barton is into the quarterfinals now, where they will take on Indian Hills. Indian Hills winning their match this morning against New Mexico Military. So it will be Indian Hills against Barton tomorrow at 4 p.m. It will be the second time these two teams have played. Barton had a very challenging preseason schedule, but it didn't matter. They played a lot of ranked teams, got off to a 13-0 start. Well, they played Indian Hills at a tournament in Sterling, Colorado at Northeastern Community College back on September 14th, and Barton won that match 3-1. Barton safely on into the quarterfinals. You watched the match this morning with Rin 1010.
We watched a little bit of it. It wasn't all watching it. There was I was in and out, yes.
Nice start.
The second set was 27-25, I believe it was, and then they just kind of dominated that third set. I don't know what the final was, but it was 25, 13, 14, somewhere in there. So Lady Cougars doing what they do.
It's kind of weird you go to a national tournament like that, and your first two opponents are teams that you've
You've
faced
already
before.
played, yes.
But that means that you played a challenging schedule.
And give credit to Megan Bessiker for setting that up and Trevor Waltz for making it happen.
Indian Hills. The school from Iowa.
No, for basketball, correct?
Well, they've
Obviously volleyball.
their volley team's been pretty good over the years,
Okay.
too. So Megan Bessiker, we'll try to hook up with her, who knows, tomorrow on the show as they get ready to take on Indian Hills. Or who knows, he may try to snag her this morning or today.
What else is she doing?
Probably eating, man.
They got the win. They're ready to
Clarksville,
go.
Tennessee, man.
And they've already seen the team they're playing tomorrow, so the scouting is going to be relatively.
Yeah, but that's back in September.
Oh, I
Teams
know.
change.
I know.
Teams change. So congratulations to the Lady Cougars. They are on to the next round. Our other sounds of the past 24 hours, head coach Bill Self. They played last night, taking on UNC Wilmington. 43-38 at halftime, then went on a 12-2 run to start the second half, and they go on to win the ball game, 84-66. Bill Self saying is a step in the right direction. Joined John Calipari and Rick Barnes, the only active Division I head coaches now with 800 wins. So KU wins. Next up for the Jayhawks, a date with number 14 Duke.
The Dukies.
Next Tuesday, that will be in the Vegas Showdown on Tuesday night. You know where they're going to play that game?
In Vegas.
You got it. You got it. I just want to make sure you're paying attention.
I'm paying attention.
So KU wins last night. But we're waiting injuries update on freshman standout Flory Badunga. Man, he's a stud. A newcomer on this year's team. I mean, he is so athletic, he's going to keep getting better, but he appeared to tweak his ankle in midway through the first half. Seen hobbling to the bench before heading to the locker room, later returned to the bench but did not play in the second half. If Badunga's injury sidelines him for any length of time, Kansas will face a challenge in maintaining their depth, which is one of the huge strengths of this year's team.
I think they'll be okay.
Hopefully it's just are you saying that he's going to be okay? It's a tweak.
I think he's had plenty of depth on this year's KU team.
Badunga, man, is like he's
okay. Well,
his arms are like 8 feet
it's
long.
only Duke. Come on.
Oh, it's only Duke.
It's only Duke.
It's only Duke.
Famous last words.
So Badunga, he's my new favorite.
I was going to say you like saying Badunga.
Badunga.
Okay, how about that young man from K-State?
That's what I was going to ask you. You did the sports this morning. Ugana Onienso. I'll go with that.
I think I said it 3 different ways.
Well, that's okay. 16 points, 12 in 12 minutes last night. K-State shaking off a tough first half. They beat Mississippi Valley State 74-56. Newcomer Coleman Hawkins. He can rebound. Had 13 of them last night. I'm not so sure how well he could shoot. He was just 1 of 11 from the field, scored 2 points, but said,
everybody can have an off shooting.
I'm not saying he's a bad shooter. I'm just saying he was last night. 13 rebounds, talking about he's not doesn't know yet whether it can be an elite rebounding team.
And rebounding is all about effort, right?
That's what I've heard.
Okay. Well, you didn't rebound?
Well, yeah, you had to box out. If you're like me, you're not very tall and you can't jump, man. You put your butt right in the middle of the lap.
That's right. I got you.
K-State led 25-23 at halftime, up by as many as 14. They shot just 29%, 1 of 13 from three-point range in the first half. Finished the game 3 for 23.
But they made their free throws.
Does
that make any sense at all?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Nobody's guarding you, and you're closer.
Sometimes isn't it weird? You see those guys that are great three-point shooters. They can't shoot.
Can't make a free throws. Yeah.
Okay, so K-State wins last night. Deion Sanders,
Corson's new boy,
head coach of the 16th-ranked Colorado Buffaloes, closer and closer to a spot in the Big 12 title game, bringing more speculation on where he's going to coach next year. But he says he put his kickstand down, saying Landon Winkler, you're a youngster. Don't slide that mic. You're going to have to just pick it up and move it over because because Landon's a youngster. I didn't think kickstand was a generational type tool. Do you know what he's talking about when you say kickstand?
I don't, honestly. The only kickstand I know is the thing that you put on your bike. That's really it for me.
Ding, 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 ding. You are correct, Landon Winkler. That's what he was talking about, a kickstand. Have the kickstands gone away from bicycles?
I don't have one on. I've had the last two I've had don't have kickstands.
Why?
I don't know. It's kind of a pain in the butt.
My bike doesn't have a kickstand either.
I don't know. But I was thinking about motorcycle.
Because I always lay mine, you put it up against a wall,
Exactly.
and then it falls over. Anyway, Deion Sanders is happy at Colorado. His team comes to Arrowhead Stadium to take on KU Saturday. Team has posted back-to-back wins over teams in the top 25. CU's won 4 straight, the driver's seat to make it to the league's championship game. I like Deion Sanders. He was an unbelievable football player. One of the few that you can look back that if he was on the field, that half the field was just off limits to trying to pass.
But it's Deion. You can't tell me if somebody comes with a boatload of money, and I'm sure CU's already given him a boatload of money, he's going to take a look at it.
Well, he can't be just a numbskull because, I mean, running a football program in a Division I school is not easy. You're like the CEO. You hire good assistants, you go out and get good players, right?
If somebody came and offered him enough cash, he'd be gone. Give him another gold chain, he's leaving.
Well, as soon as Shedeur, that may be coming
exactly,
up.
And he's got
maybe he wants to go coach his kid somewhere. He'll go to the team that's able to draft him.
That's right.
All right,
but you're right. It was one side of the field was off limits if he was on the field.
Oh gosh,
he was crazy.
And you could say, well, we're going to go that way anyway, and then be a pick six going the other way.
He wouldn't tackle anybody, but
no, he didn't. You could probably run that way.
Yeah, you're not going to pass that way.
You're not going to pass that way. You'd see the 21 on the back of his jersey going down away from the blockers. Man, he could cover. Okay, some other sounds the past 24 hours or so. Lane Kiffin, head coach at Ole Miss. I like Lane Kiffin too. Basically, he said the risk versus reward may be too high for the conference championship, and he's got a point. You go in there, okay, you want to win the conference championship, get a first-round bye. You could go from playing for the conference championship to out of the college football playoff if you lost. Now, Wade Manuel, the college football committee chairman, you get this perplexed look.
Well, I mean, I'll say
he responded to Kiffin's comments about playing on because there's teams in there that I think would benefit from not even playing. Look at Notre Dame all the years. They haven't played in a conference championship game. There's not a chance to really look bad on a national stage. And people just remember your last performance, right?
Most of the time.
So
but that's Notre Dame.
They will weigh all of this to. Yeah, Notre Dame's going to buy in there.
I mean,
right?
yeah. So he's saying if you're in the top 4 and you lose in the conference championship game, you could fall all the way out? Am I understanding that right?
Possibly, if you're a 2-loss team like Ole Miss is right now. Then you'd have 3.
Okay, but it's also SEC school.
That probably would figure in.
Now, if you're somebody else, yes, I would be concerned. If you were KU or K-State in the Big 12 championship game, which we know isn't going to happen.
Correct.
What about Colorado? They got 2 losses, right?
But Colorado's not. They don't have street cred of an SEC team. So
that's what I'm saying.
If they don't win it,
I can see where they could fall out.
Oh, absolutely. I think the Big 12 is going to have one team.
I agree. But
it is kind of a quirky deal.
That is weird.
So if you want to make an incentive for them, because there's big television money with this, right? Well, put in there, if you go to that, you get to keep the money. You don't share it with conference schools.
Ooh.
You keep it.
Ooh.
And in the world of NIL and paying athletes,
that would be huge.
Oh yeah, then you can stuff your coffers with some more money to sign players the next year.
That's an interesting take.
It is goofy. I'm not going to sit there and say, "Wow, this is horrible." I've waited for a 12-team playoff my entire life. I'm not going to complain about this. I don't know how many more 12-team playoffs I have left. But I'm not going to worry about it now. I've got that. I
don't know. You pretty much release your tensions most of the time, so you don't hold things back. So, I think you're good.
I don't, because you do not want to. If you have rage sacs in your body, they're like lymph nodes.
It
okay?
doesn't do good.
No, because they start exploding, and then once a rage sac goes off inside your body, that releases rage all through there. So you've got to release the pressure.
I think we're both okay.
You are a grumpy dude, too. You do not have. Okay, Cole Reif on the show yesterday talking about what's next for Hoisington next year, as always. For Hoisington, what they've been able to do in past years is to not rebuild, but to reload.
Correct. I hate that term, but it was fits.
Sometimes the ammunition that you need to reload is a little bit bigger shell. So Tony Moore was a ballistic missile.
Correct.
Okay? It was harder to replace him in your arsenal than.
But
Darren Kraft is going to be that way, even though he wasn't at 100% this year.
But what would they have done if they would have had
Jason
a normal
Robinson
schedule?
is a guy like that.
Well, I mean, they're losing some studs again, but they seem to have the studs below them. The dudes, I think, is the new term. Dudes.
Dudes?
Dudes, yeah.
But how deep is the dude well?
Well,
you always just wonder. When will the dude well run dry?
I don't pay attention to the younger people in Hoisington.
Okay, the dude. Is that by court order, or is that by?
Could be.
Just kidding. Okay, the New York Jets have fired general manager Joe Douglas after a 3-8 start. Owner Woody Johnson announced that in a statement that Phil Savage will serve as the interim GM. So Joe Douglas probably got fired more than anything else for bringing in Aaron Rodgers, and that hasn't worked out. Kimberly Martin, NFL reporter, told there's no market for Rodgers, and in fact, one NFL person told her that he's an organizational killer.
There's no question in my mind. I mean, he's almost like the general manager, the manager, and the head coach. It's like, because he has control over everything.
Well, if you saddle up and go to your owner and say, this is the guy we need to bring in to put us over the top, and then they brought him in, and he lasts 3 plays because he blows an Achilles out. And then you're coming back, you're 40 years old trying to come back from Achilles injury.
That's got to be tough.
So now...
And he's also a strange dude.
I don't... Well... He's not what you would call one of those guys that is a team player, would that be?
He marches to the beat of his own drum. Correct?
What's the beat of Aaron Rodgers' drum sound like? What would it be?
We'd have to have Corson here for that one.
I don't know, but there you go. Sounds the past 24 hours or so. Okay. Lady Cougars into the quarterfinals tomorrow. They win today, knocking off Navarro 3-0. Indian Hills wins 3-0 tomorrow in
Clarksville, Tennessee.
Clarksville, Tennessee. I'm on the chain.
And Barton beat Indian Hills 3-1 earlier this year.
Back on September 14th. Okay, so there's the latest. Okay, coming up, we're going to talk Central Plains Oiler football with head coach J.D. Johnson. Our show today brought to you in part by the American Plains Co-op Bulk Fuel Department, featuring number 2 Clear Diesel, Bulk Fuel, E10, fuel delivery, all your lubricants and fuel supplies. Eller Automotive Repair, where they specialize in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. They are your local mechanic. And as we talked with Cole Reif yesterday, it doesn't matter if you have Cheetos or a half-eaten hot dog, which if I dropped a half-eaten hot dog, I'd go after it, okay? I wouldn't leave it back there. But if you do, they're not going to judge you because they know your car, and they're going to get it running right. Eller Auto Repair. And also by the Animal Medical Center in Great Bend, large or small. Take Dr. Ty a tiger someday, see if he still wants any of that. Doesn't matter. They take care of them all. All right, football talk. J.D. Johnson coming up next on Sports Day.
Hurry! Hadley, close the door!
Okay, Papa, I've got it.
Oh, no! The safety eyes worked.
Papa, isn't that a good thing?
Yes, Hadley. It's a good thing normally, but...
Hey, you two. Where's my turkey?
Papa did it.
Well, at least I still have you two turkeys.
Happy Thanksgiving from C&E Doors. Follow the orange sign south of 10th and Harrison, Great Bend.
Take your passion for creating magic behind the curtain to new levels with Barton Community College's Technical Theater program. This new program is designed for students to learn how to create breathtaking light shows, run a state-of-the-art soundboard, and build captivating sets. Unleash your creativity and earn an associate's degree to build the skills you need for a career in theater. Now enrolling for the fall semester. Learn more at techtheater.bartonccc.edu.
It's another instant finalist day in our $20K Christmas cash giveaway presented by Bauer Computer, Mayo Money Management, and Mater Plumbing, Heating and Air, your Bryant dealer, whatever it takes. Today, the place to be is Next Tech. Let's listen to David on those specials.
Hi, this is David with Next Tech. Wanted to go over a couple promotions we currently have running here at the office. On our home services, we do have a special 3-month free promo where you can get 3 months free on our internet service, landline telephone service. We do have a premium Wi-Fi service and our TV. So 3 months free, nothing up front. Gives you a chance to try it out, see how it works. Also, if you decide to upgrade your Next Tech wireless cell phone on top of the Next Tech wireless promotions that are currently running, if you're a Next Tech customer, you would also get an extra $100 credit on your Next Tech bill. You'd get your promos off your phone, plus you'd get an extra $100 credit going toward your home services bill. Several current promotions we have running to save you a little bit on your home services and your phone.
For the past 13 years, Sports Day has been the show devoted to local sports and local athletes. And it's all brought to you by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Indeed, Sports Day brought to you by Barton Community College, Cougar Athletic Department. Also, in part by the Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street in Great Bend. Great Bend Rec Commission, they're dedicated to improving the community and the lives of its individuals. And Equity Bank, there when you need them. Bank local, save big with in-person banking and business banking. Visit equitybank.com. J.D. Johnson back with us on the program today. His team in the semifinals, which it is, but they've got to call it the sub-state championship game because you can't put semifinal winner on the trophy, okay? Exactly. Okay, so sub-state championship game. Tomorrow night, they get a home game out of all of this. Clifton Clyde comes to town. Both teams are 9-2. Coach, congratulations. You go on the road, knock off Little River for the second time last week. Just an easy old game to win, wasn't it? 38-32. Congratulations, J.D. That was a heck of a win for your team.
Thank you very much. The kids really played their hearts out.
How'd the game go? The first time you put 66 up on them, but this time it was like, how many times the lead changed hands? It was just back and forth, wasn't it, the whole game?
It was quite a ball game. And as we talked before, the first time we played Little River, I mean, the game was much closer than the final score.
Right.
I mean, and so we knew going into Little River, Coach Ayers, I mean, all his boys, and we knew it was going to be a battle. We knew it was going to be a real battle. Their defense got our offense to stall out a couple times in the first half. Our defense really stepped up big. They really did. They got a couple picks. I know we got a fumble late. And that was the difference in the game.
Tell me about that fumble.
The fumble, it was one of those things. It was run right up the middle, and we're just sitting there. We have them wrapped up. We're like, okay, we got them stopped. I think it was going to be second or third down after that. And then just all of a sudden our kids start going nuts and pointing the other way, jumping around, and somehow, I can't even remember who it was. Might have been Eli or Aiden. One of them popped the ball out, or we were able to jump on it, and that was big.
Did you run the clock out then at that point?
That point, it's all starting to run. It's all starting to run together a little bit. I can't remember if that was when we came down and scored. That might have been when we ran the clock out. I can't remember, though. But we had to get a first down in order to do that, and that whole second half, Eli was running the ball really well. They just really didn't have much of an answer for him and his physical running, and we just kept feeding him the ball, and he had a phenomenal game.
In 8-man football, it's never over. I mean, Little River showed that earlier this year because they scored like 18 seconds left against Lincoln. But they always say, this is why we coach. This is why. Were you asking me, you said, boy, okay, this is why I coach, but man, when's this clock going to run?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. My wife says I got a few more gray hairs after this year.
What was it like to be out on that team when they give you that sectional trophy?
Oh man, just so proud of the kids. I mean, they've battled and fought all year long, and they've worked so hard this year. I mean, they deserve it. They deserve every bit of it, and so we've been trying to really stress on, like, hey, enjoy this. I mean, treasure this, because this is something that doesn't happen very often, making it this far. But stay hungry and just keep battling. Don't be satisfied.
Okay, so this is going to take you back a little bit, but okay, you're playing for the chance to play in the state championship game now. Compare your feeling now to what it was when, and obviously Victoria's very, very good, okay?
Absolutely.
But that's the second week of the season, and Dighton's going to have their hands full on tomorrow night in the Division II. But what were your thoughts after that game?
And I was talking with in another interview, and the same question question was asked.
Really?
Yeah, I know. You guys borrowing questions?
Okay.
No. I mean, that's one of the biggest things I've been so proud of our boys is, we get down by a couple touchdowns in that Victoria game. We start hanging our heads. The body language is bad, and we just kind of fold up. We just fold up and like, okay, well, maybe we're not quite as good as we thought we were. They continue to battle, continue to improve all season long, and I feel like we've matured a lot throughout the year, where now all three of these postseason games, we found ourselves down at halftime in all three of them. And it's gotten better. It's gotten better each one. The score's gotten a little better each time, but yeah, I mean, it could have been we could have very easily folded up and start shutting down. But no, these guys continue to battle, continue to make plays, and that's, like I said, that's one of the biggest things I'm most proud of about these guys.
When you guys lose big. Okay, so
Yeah.
because you move forward. Okay, as you came into
Sure.
Sports Day that week, you take it on El Saline. You got them on your home field, and 58-12. So the same thing. Your kids have to bounce back from that, and then you go right into the playoffs and have to go on the road to Chase County.
Absolutely, yeah. That was, yeah. We lose big. We don't like to do it big. So, no, that was another one of those games where just didn't show up mentally ready to play. I feel like it was right after that first Little River win. I think we thought it was going to be about the same caliber of team, same game, since their game prior to that was so
you
close.
Can't compare scores.
Yeah, exactly. You can't compare scores at all. No, not at all. And I think we found that out the hard way. They came ready to play. We fumbled the opening kickoff. They score a couple plays after that. Then we go 3 and out and kick about a 10-yard punt, and then they score after that. And so it just kind of snowballed from there.
Okay. But then you've come back now with a 2-point win over Sylvan, 6-point win at Chase County, and then a 6-point win over Little River. That's got to give your team a lot of confidence winning those close games like that against good opponents.
I think so. I mean, obviously, yeah, you'd like to win by more points, but at this point, at this stage of the season, it's survive and advance. And so, yeah, I think the kids are feeling good. They know that we got a real quality opponent coming to town on Friday.
Clifton Clyde, it's one of those programs that you can go back a long time. I mean, so when I think of Clifton Clyde, it's going back to the coach that was there for 40 years, running the single wing. That was what they're known for. What's this team run as far as?
They have a really athletic quarterback who's just an all-star basketball player, state high jumper, just a good all-around athlete. And he really gets everything done for him. If we can keep him contained, I think we got a shot, but we got to keep him contained. He runs a lot of speed option. They run a lot of RPO. He'll sling it if he gets some time, and so hopefully we get a little bit of pressure on him and keep him contained at the same time.
Does that quarterback remind you of anyone else you played, or Clifton Clyde's offense remind you of anybody else that you faced this year?
I don't know if we've played a quarterback quite as athletic as him, but Little River's quarterback, great athlete, good arm. El Saline's quarterback, just a tank. Oh man, 6'4", 225, and he's a big boy. He's hard to bring down. Chase County had a good quarterback as well, but yeah, I mean, we faced some good quarterbacks, but this one I don't feel like runs the ball quite as strong, but he's got a decent arm, but they got a good little tailback too, and so they're just a quick team. Man, they're quick. Defensively, they just fly around. They get to the ball. They swarm tackle. they're just all around. They're just a good, solid team.
Yeah. Okay. And you said on defense, they've got a nose guard that's just one of those little guys that can cause havoc. You've got a big offensive line, especially at center.
Yeah.
So tell me about how you've prepared for this young man that you'll face on.
Oh, he's, like I said, he's about 5'6", 5'7", maybe 150 pounds, but he is lightning quick. He shoots gaps and he causes all sorts of problems. Any coach that I've talked to kind of about them is like, hey, be ready for 39. He's like, because we weren't. A couple of the coaches like, we weren't prepared for him, and he makes your night hard because he's quick, he shoots gaps, and yeah.
So, in reaction to this, maybe the unsung hero of this team coming out of Friday night, tell me about number 39 for Central Plains that is playing 39 this week in practice.
I say we got a couple of them, but right now we got one of our scout team boys, good size. He usually plays linebacker for us.
Okay.
We got him lined up at nose guard and tackle, and he's making our old lineman work, to say the least. But he's doing a good job.
J.D. Johnson with his head coach of the Central Plains Oilers. They host Clifton Clyde. It'll be a 6 o'clock kickoff Friday in Claflin. So one of the things is that postseason football, I bring it up all the time, is because you're practicing in the dark, and you get done a lot of times. But, man, it's sub-state championship week from the moment that you show up for school on Monday. What's this week been like for you?
It's been great. I mean, the community support's been amazing. The football moms they're getting meals and snacks, breakfast every day, and so it's been great. I mean, just around the community, around the school. I mean, it's been electric, and so the kids are excited. Attitudes are awesome, and so like you said, you can definitely tell good things are happening. So.
You mentioned these games you've been behind at halftime, and you've got a couple pretty good assistant coaches, too, that help you out. So kind of talk about what goes on at halftime. You go into a game like that because you can go in there, we need to play harder. Okay, well, we need to play smarter. That's where the coach comes in. So, I mean, it's got to be a pretty good room.
And so one thing we've been really famous about this year is just giving up some big, just bonehead plays. Just missed coverages, a missed tackle that leads to a 50, 60-yard touchdown. And so many times in these games that's been the difference. It's like, guys, and we just try to make that point across the kids. Like, guys, 1-2 plays out of this, we're in the lead. I mean, we're in this game. I mean, so we try to keep them positive, and then, like I said, I got a great coaching staff behind me that's really just kept me afloat all year long, and they're very good about finding our things that we need to improve on or need to correct, and we try to get it corrected as much as possible in that 15 minutes you have. But like I said, our boys, they're smart, and they communicate well with each other, and so they're quick to fix these issues before we even bring them up at halftime. They realize that, hey, we need to fix this, or we need to do better at this position, and they get it corrected real quick also.
How about Michael Ryan? I mean, it's the only combination I can remember, that he was the starting center on the football team and on a very good football team, state championship football, and then he's the point guard on the basketball team.
Yeah, that's it. That's Michael. He's just a Swiss Army knife. He's just good at everything. And no, he's been phenomenal. I mean, he's in charge of the O-line, and then he helps me with offense also. And we couldn't be here without him. And the boys, when he talks, the boys listen. The O-line, they respect him so much. And then Robinson with the defense. I mean, and then we got Jacob Bryan also helping with the defense also. They're just so well respected. When they talk, you listen. I mean, it's been awesome to be a part of them and have them on the staff.
One thing about going to Central Plains, there's been a few big games that the school's been part of over the years. So everybody's kind of got some of this already down. I mean, where you don't have to worry about all this stuff. I hope so. You just, you don't need to worry about tickets or stuff like that.
Sure,
that you're doing or anything like that. Just go in there and coach. So What's the rest of the week like for practice right now? It's probably this time of year, just breaking down the opponent and going out and staying loose and things like that, right?
We've had a good couple days of film. Had a good practice yesterday, and then today, really hammer it out for a few hours. Just try to get him ready for everything. Coach Steinbach over there, I mean, he's a master of what he does, and we know defensively he's going to throw a lot at us. He has got a lot of different defensive formations that he throws at opponents. Offensively, he's got so many different little things out of his RPO that he can sling at us. So we're just trying to cover all our bases and be ready for everything.
Does a week like this go fast or does it go slow?
So far, it's been going pretty fast, I have to say.
Okay.
yeah, we're already Wednesday, and so it seems like it's flying by. And so that's one thing I try to tell the kids is, cherish it and enjoy it because it'll go fast. So,
what are you feeling right now heading into this game?
I mean, obviously, I'm nervous for every game. So,
Yeah.
but no, it's I'm trying to enjoy it just for the kids' sake as well. I mean, if they see me stressed out and everything, I mean, then they'll start getting tight and stressed out. And right now, the boys, they're loose. I hope they're not a little too loose, but I mean, they're loose. They're having fun, and so that's trying to keep it at an even keel as much as possible.
Okay, so what's well, I guess that's not a Saturday game. I remember I was seeing Central Plains guys over there come to Great Bend to eat for their Saturday game. But man, good luck.
Thank you.
Everybody's
Thank you
watching
very
Central
much.
Plains, 6 o'clock in Claflin. Go get them.
Yeah, come pack the house.
Thanks, JD.
Hey, thank you, Steve.
Okay, JD Johnson with us here, head coach of the Central Plains Oilers on Sports Day. Clifton Clyde coming to town on Friday night.
From the Mayo Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB, Great Bend, and 95.5 FM K238CK, Hoisington.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Wright, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
Get the power you need for your farm equipment. The power of peace of mind that dependable Cenex lubricants deliver. With decades of proven off-road performance backed by the industry-leading Cenex Total Protection Plan warranty, Cenex heavy-duty diesel engine oils, hydraulic fluids, gear lubricants, and greases are formulated to provide superior protection for load-bearing equipment. The power you need to keep your business running like a well-oiled machine.
Contact American Plains Co-op Fuel Department in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor.
When it comes to car maintenance, it's good to know a local guy that can get things done. The Eller family has been in the auto repair business in Great Bend forever. Greg Eller continues that long tradition of helping people. Eller Automotive Repair specializes in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 Fridays. Eller Automotive Repair at 915 Morton, right behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source, 10th and Morton.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Some people call him Gerard. Most people just call him Grr. It's time for Tiger Talk on Sports Day with the voice of the Fort Hays State Tigers. Here's Gerard Welborough.
Jones takes the shotgun snap, dropping back to pass, being chased by Miles Menges, pivots, runs up the middle, throws it to the end zone. It is going to be incomplete. The Tigers battle away, and Fort Hays State survives in Kearney.
I had it all the way. Gerard Welborough joining us right now. The only thing better that would have been the play that put the Tigers into the NCAA Division II playoffs, but not to be. But, man, what a win last Saturday in Kearney, Gerard.
It certainly was. Got a little closer than it probably should have been. And you give Kearney credit. And you look at, in fact, we just wrapped up our coaches show with Chris Brown. The MIAA success from being a great team to a good team to an average team to a bad team. It's that. And you look at Kearney. I mean, they led UCO, who won the conference, and then got beat late. Kind of, I think they lost by 2 scores, but they were right in it to the very end. They played within a possession of Pitt State. They were in almost every game. They just couldn't quite get over the hump. And give the Tigers credit. Sometimes you have that 24-0 lead, and then it's all of a sudden, quickly lose. You're letting it slip out of your grasp to regroup and make some big plays when they had to down the stretch. So that was a big win. It's been great. We were tearing down, watching the Ouachita-Henderson game, and it came down to the end. And Ouachita, a touchdown they allowed. You couldn't tell if it was bobbled or not, but they gave them a touchdown, and they won. And then Henderson drove and just couldn't quite score. So you kind of had the feeling that was going to be it, unfortunately, and then found out they didn't get a bowl invite. So it's disappointing this group doesn't get to play another game, but that's the way it is. It's difficult to make the playoffs, but it was a phenomenal year for the Tigers.
Okay, 27-20, they Tigers knock off Nebraska Kearney, so, and no bowl either then.
No, and since COVID, the bowls have dwindled, and it's harder, and a lot of them, there used to be, last year there were 2 that the MIAA was tied into. Now there's only 1, the Heritage Bowl, and Central Missouri got it. And I was a little worried about that because they have Zach Zabrowski, the reigning Harlan Hill Trophy winner. Their offense, they're fun. They're a fun team to watch. And I had a hunch if it's going to come down to Fort Hays and UCM, they're going to take the Mules, and that's exactly what happened. So disappointing, but I mean, what do you do? That's just the way it goes. You've got to be so good to make the playoffs, especially in this region. We've talked about that time and time again. We were chatting, even if they beat Northwest in week 4, because we were kind of thinking that was the game. I don't know if that would have been enough. It really came down to the 1-point loss of Pitt State. I think Fort Hays State's a batted pass away and a freak interception from making the playoffs, but that's the way it goes.
So you brought up a good point about Chris Brown, because his whole thing when he came in, I think, was a lot about culture. We hear that, right? I mean, you always hear that.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to change the culture around here. Well, and he did, but then I think the culture got away from him during the COVID, and then he builds it back up again. That's not easy. It's not easy to do once, but then you do it twice.
No doubt, and I think the credit goes to this huge senior class. 23 of them got honored on Senior Day, but they're, I think, as responsible as anyone for that. Obviously, the coaches are too. I mean, it starts with them. But this senior class, and we've heard it from day one, he thought they were special. They proved to be. They went through a lot together. Basically, as you said, you had COVID for some of them. Some of them came in during COVID, but you had that COVID year. Then you had a 3-win season, and it was not looking good. They got rid of a few folks they felt were detrimental to the program. They came back and won 5, and then got to 7 last year, and then get to 8 this year. The senior class has everything to do with it, and even though they lose a huge senior class, what you're hoping now is the young guys have learned from that, because that's how you do it. That's how you pass the baton to the next guys. You know how that works. And so hopefully the younger players in the program have now figured out what it takes to win, and I think they do. I think that there's a good young group of players ready to step into. In fact, just talking with Coach Brown, in some regards, especially the back end of the defense where he coaches, the secondary, they might be a little more talented athletically and skill-wise. They're just inexperienced. So you hope those intangibles, because it's those intangibles, the film session, all the stuff you do outside of practice, that's what makes a good team a championship-level team, and hopefully that's what these guys coming up will be.
Okay, I remember I was so excited when Fort Hays State signed Lane Bieberly, right? And I said, man, that is a great sign. And
it turned out to be true.
It did. I did not have that feeling. I'll be honest, when Miles Minja signed. Well, okay, he's 8-man quarterback. I don't know. This is well, he didn't play quarterback, and he's the MIAA Defensive Player of the Year. That's a cool story.
That really is. There's been pictures on social media of him basically coming out of high school, and you see him now. He changed his body, and that's obviously a lot of time in the weight room. But it kind of gets back to culture. He's one of the reasons why. He's just a great leader on and off the field and everything he brought to this team. And he was a COVID kid. He got the extra year. This was a COVID year, so he's been in the program a long time. So he's really seen. And came in right after the highs of 2019, and the double overtime loss to Northwest, just missing the playoffs and winning a third straight conference title, and then COVID, and then the program kind of sunk, as you said, and then building it back up. He's a big reason why. Just led by example, and I truly felt. He knew this was it this year. He had more fun playing football this season. He was always talking to opponents. Talking trash, but in a fun, jovial way. And you just tell he was having a blast and had a phenomenal year. He led the team in pass deflections. It was unreal, and got an interception at Emporia, and just was so good. And one of those players, the stats don't even bear out what he does. Just the disruption and everything he did. And he played a lot of linebacker, defensive end, even some interior linemen. They moved him around everywhere on the defense. And, no more deserving player to be Player of the Year defensively. And now the fourth under Chris Brown to get that honor, and really fourth since 2017. So pretty impressive, and just happy for him because he's such a great kid.
Another great local signee for Fort Hays State was a young man named Mason Perez, and he... Yeah, he gets all MIAA accolades as well. Is he done now? I can't. Man, that is amazing. Mason Perez closing out his career at Fort Hays State. What a career he's had.
No doubt. And I remember he got to play a lot as a true. I guess he redshirted. So his redshirt freshman year, because of injury, that was a year they had just decimated with injuries, and that set the growth of the program back. So he kind of got thrust in when he probably wasn't quite ready. But now you see the dividends, and I remember saying it with you at the time. It's like he's learning. He's going to be really good. Getting that experience made a huge difference, and I think he's one of the best safeties in the conference. He was so good, and his size and his speed, and some of these guys have played a lot of football, and you could tell you go to practice and they're moving pretty slow, and they maybe wouldn't practice every day. They got a lot of miles on the tires, but boy, game day they found an extra gear, and so happy because that he got first-team recognition, because he certainly deserves it, and he's going to be another one. Two guys you're going to miss, and you talk about culture. There's another one right there. Leads by example, out there every day, never takes a snap off. And, again, you just hope that the younger guys have learned from them and can follow the tradition that's been laid, because the senior class did some phenomenal things.
All right, Gerard, I guess the focus turns to basketball now. We'll get to that next week. Wednesday. You probably.
I'm around, so I'll be around.
Okay, I didn't know.
I'll be around. If you need me, I'm around. I'll always make time for you, Steve.
Okay, well, I used my 5 weeks of vacation in the first 7 weeks of the year, so I'm done. So I didn't know what you had.
I have 3 days left.
Oh,
so
look at you.
I'll use them after Christmas, so I'll be around.
Okay, all right, Ger. Thanks a lot. Appreciate the time you spend with us each week, and again, we'll talk to you next week.
See you, Steve.
Gerard Welbrock here with us on Sports Day.
Hurry! Hadley, close the door!
Okay, Papa, I've got it.
Oh, no! The safety eyes worked.
Papa, isn't that a good thing?
Yes, Hadley. It's a good thing normally, but...
Hey, you two. Where's my turkey?
Papa did it.
Well, at least I still have you 2 turkeys.
Happy Thanksgiving from C&E Doors. Follow the orange sign south of 10th and Harrison, Great Bend.
Discover affordable education with Barton Online. Whether you're looking to pick up a class or earn your associate degree, we've got you covered for less than half the cost of a university. We are always enrolling with 5 sessions available this fall, including 16, 8, and 4-week sessions. Get started when it fits your schedule. Tackle your gen eds or the first 2 years of college with a low-cost pathway and save time and money with Barton Online. Visit online.bartonccc.edu and enroll today.
Marmy Auto Group makes it happen. Central and Western Kansas. Check out our selection of new and pre-owned inventory. Marmy's friendly staff offers top quality service that you've gotten to know over the years. When your existing vehicle needs parts or service, our experienced team will get you back in the game this season. Marmy Chevrolet, GMC, Ford and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, parts, service, and body shop. Visit Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
If you're needing a healthcare plan for your business, let the experienced and dedicated staff at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your business's need. Regardless if you're a large corporation or a small business on Main Street, Freedom Claims Management Incorporated can help you provide your employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. Visit freedomclaimsinc.com where you can schedule a free, no obligation health assessment today. Freedom Claims Management Incorporated in Great Bend.
Now, in its 13th year, this program is brought to you exclusively by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department. This is Sports Day on KVGB.
All right, Sports Day today brought to you in part by the Barton Cougar Booster Club, continuing their efforts to make the Barton Athletic Department the best in the country. The Animal Medical Center in Great Bend, large or small, they take care of them all. Okay, in case you just joined us, Barton Lady Cougars, they are on to the quarterfinals of the NJCAA Division I National Volleyball Tournament. They won this morning, beating Navarro College out of Texas. They will now play tomorrow afternoon at 4 at Austin Peay University in Clarksville, Tennessee, and they will take on Indian Hills, who won their match today 3-0 against New Mexico Military. And this will be the second meeting of the year. They played back in September 14th. At Northeastern Junior College in Sterling, Colorado, and Barton won that day 3-1 in sets. So hopefully we can hook up Megan Besker on the program tomorrow. KU wins last night over University of North Carolina, Wilmington, or UNC double. See, that's why you call them Wilmington. There's too many letters, Hesh. It was Bill Self's 800th victory. So he now, John Calipari, is one of only, who's the other one, Ash? Anyway, there's only one other. Yeah, Rick Barnes. Yeah, exactly. Tennessee's coach now, who was at Texas a long time. The only current coaches with 800 career wins. Bill Self last night at the press conference asked about if he remembers first win.
Remember who your first head coaching win was against?
Do you know?
I looked it up, yeah.
Was it Loyola Marymount?
Sam Houston State, but I just didn't know if
Sam
like
Houston.
the win. Yeah, Sam Houston State. I didn't know if like these wins and milestones, if you just knew who your first was.
I don't, but I've had some health issues, so maybe my mind doesn't work the same way as it used to. So I don't usually remember the wins as much as I remember the losses, but. Yeah, Sam Houston State, huh? Jerry Hopkins was the coach there. Then, if you want to look that up too, I remember that.
Diggy's had a few of these good scoring performances against in these bye games. What does he need to do to kind of translate that level of production to the higher level opponents?
Well, I think tonight he guarded. He over-penetrated one time and tried to score over length, which is not probably a great move for him. But I don't really think when you shoot a lot of threes primarily, a lot of times the athletes you're playing against, you still get looks. You just got to make them. They're just maybe a little bit more rushed and obviously playing against a little bit more length. But I think he can play at this level and be consistently good. With him, we'll judge him a lot of times on if he makes shots or not. And tonight he was 3 for 4 and did a good job. But I could see him getting those same looks against conference opponents, but we can't expect him to shoot 75% every game.
Bill, I think you said previously you were hoping for that 40% mark around 30. You guys have kind of had a up and down season so far for three-point shooting. Is there anything you think you can do differently, or is it just kind of waiting for the shots to kind of drop?
Yeah, I'm not going to worry about that. If you we're 6 of 25. And if you go 9 of 25, it's a 27-point game, but they were good looks. I bet of the 25, maybe one or two that you wouldn't want. Maybe that Shaq took one, which I didn't think he needed to. But other than that, the right guys are shooting them. So we'll make them. We'll make them.
Coach, I know obviously early in the season you kind of have a break coming up. Do you like where your team is at 5 games in? I mean, do you like where you guys are at this stage?
Not probably consistently where I like for us to be at. I think we're leaving a lot of points out there. I think free throw line. One thing that surprisingly we've done a good job of is we actually get a shot almost every possession. We don't turn it over a lot, at least knock on wood, we haven't yet. I think our ball screen defense obviously can get better and just guarding your man. Most of the time they scored tonight was when 21 just went and made a basket on Flory or Hunt. So we can get better individually.
Okay, some comments from Bill Self last night following a win over UNC Wilmington. KU plays Duke next Tuesday in Las Vegas. Off this weekend. We'll be back. Wrap up Sports Day after this.
Dr. Nels here, Animal Medical Center. As we think about sports and athletics, the big teams, the big games get all the attention. Let's think about all the other sports that don't, such as tennis, golf, bowling, some of those incredible sports. Let's shine a light on those people too, but also shine a light on the band, the cheerleaders, the dance squad, those folks that help bring energy to the games and celebrate a sport for all the athletes. Let's celebrate that. Dr. Nels here, Animal Medical Center, large or small, we take care of them all.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec.
Sports, leisure, fitness and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend. Or check out the website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Covering your local teams and your local athletes. It's Sports Day on KVGB, presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Also in part by Freedom Claims Management, innovative healthcare plans for your business. Let them take care of everything for you from start to finish. Continued support, they have you covered. And by C&E Doors, my favorite commercial now. Oh, no! That's classic radio. I love that. Oh, no! Great people to work with. Why, they fixed my garage door, Hesh. And they were there the same day.
Papa did it.
Papa did it. Papa did it. C&E Door, your full-service garage door company. Follow the orange sign south of 10th and Harrison. Lady Cougars win today. They play Indian Hills tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Good stuff with Gerard Welbrock, and it's one by Chris Brown, getting those local in-state kids that you can build a program around. Not Mason Perez, Miles Menges, yeah.
2 number 1 teams at the Kirkman Center tonight, too.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, there's that. Hutch is in town. My head's spinning. I can't. I think I stood up too fast for a reason, but... Yeah, go Cougs. Talk to you tomorrow.